everybody. Welcome to the Asian Chamber Chats. So, this is the podcast hosted by the Asian Chamber of Commerce here at OKC. And today we have a special guest. He is our very own executive director. He's a legislator. He's an improv comedian, and he is a 5K runner, which he's going to run a 5K real soon. We have our very own Daniel Pei. Thanks for being here, Daniel.
Of course, Aaron. Yeah, great to be with you.
Of course. I know we've been friends for a while,
Right.
and we've had a lot of good conversations. But for our audience who don't know you that well, so let's go into a little bit of your background. So, who are you?
Yeah, well, and first of all, I appreciate you and John and for what you guys have done with Asian Chamber Chats. I think podcasts are very popular, especially among our generation, and so the fact that we're making this investment for the long term, I think that's really cool for us as an organization to do. And so I was born and raised in Lawton. That is home for me. My parents are from South Korea originally. And I went to school at the University of Oklahoma. And as we're recording, hopefully they're beating Missouri and that we're on our way to the playoffs. We shall see after we conclude here. But I'm a proud Sooner. And initially I wanted to go to medical school and become a family physician. I think for many Asian Americans growing up, you have the pressure put on you to either do medicine, law, engineering, something with stable income. And for a while there, I was on that path. But once I realized about this time, after I came back home for the Christmas holiday, medicine was not my true calling. And I loved in student government, once I got more involved with that, problem solving, bringing people together, and just trying to get things done. And so that's when I pivoted to economics and political science. I also studied for a master in public administration, and then got elected the student body president about a decade ago. And, I was back on campus earlier this week talking with the current SGA leadership, and that was pretty humbling now to be in this position of leadership after graduating and to go back to campus and try to mentor and give back. That's something I fundamentally believe in. And so once I graduated from college, and I also interned on Capitol Hill and at our state capitol just down the road from here, I wanted to move back to Lawton. There's a great TV show for those who've watched it, I'm sure, Parks and Recreation. That was on the air when I was a student in college. And so I decided to move back and work in city government. And I thought about becoming a city manager one day until this position opened in our area. And I decided to shoot my shot and put my name on the ballot. And that was just a few months after I graduated from college. And so it just came down to a lot of grassroots style campaigning, around 12,000 doors that I knocked at the end of the election cycle, and 8,000 people voted, give or take, and I won by 42 votes. So it was a super tight election, and I'm always a big proponent for civic engagement, especially at the local level, because your voice, your vote, absolutely makes a fundamental difference for some of these election outcomes. So I've been in that position for, this will be 8 years now. And a few years ago, I was invited to the kickoff event for the Great Oklahoma City Asian Chamber of Commerce at Jimmy B's, right across the street from here. And I thought it was really cool. There are many Asian Americans in Lawton, but nowhere as many as the Oklahoma City Metro. And I thought it was just cool personally to have this type of organization where we could have the forum to bring business owners and entrepreneurs together in a positive way. And so I started attending events, just wanted to support in that capacity. One thing led to another, becoming a board member, and then about a year now being the executive director. So it's been quite the journey. And in both of those roles, I think it's about building relationships and investing for the long term, because we're not going to be in these positions forever. And I recognize the fact that we have to pass the torch on at some point to whoever comes next. And for me, I want to make sure that individual is successful, and that I give them something that is a strong foundation to build even more growth from. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Wow. Amazing. Just simply amazing. And you definitely have so much experience. And we're talking about paving a path for future Asian leaders. And you're doing that right now. And I can tell just by
And so are
working with
you
you.
as well, Aaron. Yeah,
Yeah,
kudos to you.
just by working with you on the board, man. Like everything that you do is just setting a good bar and a good example. So we really appreciate what
Thank
you
you.
do. Yeah. And you're one of the key reasons that we're doing the podcast. So we launch off this Asian Chamber Chats. So thank you so much. And I feel like you have such an unique perspective as an Asian, living in Oklahoma, being brought up in Oklahoma, and also being so involved in the Oklahoma community. Do you want to talk more about that? Like, I'm very curious just to hear what an Asian perspective is.
Yeah. And so I'm the first Korean American male to have been elected to the Oklahoma House of Representatives. And my understanding is the first Korean American to be elected to OUSGA president as well. And so I'm certainly mindful of the responsibility that comes with being in those leadership positions. And the past few years, I've had opportunities to go abroad and represent our state at the international level. And for example, I was recently in Germany, and the topic was specifically on Indo-Pacific relationships between our two countries. And I was able to advocate for the people back home in Lawton and just in general the state of Oklahoma. I think it's no secret that Asian Americans are the fastest growing demographic by far in the entire country. And I hope to see more people step up and either run for office, get involved civically, whatever that may look like. Certainly become more involved with organizations like Chamber of Commerce, because that's how we get our voices heard. And I mentioned earlier the importance of mentorship. And I appreciate our friends at the Asian District Cultural Association, what they do with the Youth Empowerment Conference. And Farouk and I had a chance to go there earlier this year, and we meet with young students who want to get involved in finance, real estate, politics, and to show that there are people who look like them in these positions. And if they want to pursue this type of career, they absolutely should. There's nothing to be afraid of. And taking that leap of faith, knowing that there are other people who followed this path.
Not
and,
just the doctors.
Right, yeah. It's a very diverse set of opportunities available for any young aspiring leader. And I know you played a pivotal role in the YPL, the Young Professional Leaders Workshops as well, a few months ago. And again, that generational approach, that's what keeps this type of organization sustaining in the long run. So certainly with Asian Americans, especially in Oklahoma City, as this metro continues to grow in the coming decades, we should make sure we're keeping that in mind as we move forward.
Right. Speaking about the Asian American experience, when you think about Oklahoma, it's not really a place where you think about Asian Americans, right? When we think about large population, it's like San Francisco, LA,
Dallas,
New York, Chicago. So what is special about Oklahoma and the Asian community here, in your perspective?
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Anytime that I mention that I'm a Korean American in Oklahoma, people are rather surprised to hear that. To your point, there are other major communities across the country who have higher concentration of Asian Americans. But I think for us, Oklahoma City public schools is actually majority minority. And this country, by the mid-century point in 2050, it will be a majority minority population as a whole. In a lot of these communities outside of the coast, you're going to have more of this growth taking place. That's a reality. And I think what drives people here to Oklahoma, certainly low cost of living, relatively low utility rates, and just a lot of economic workforce potential. And I know our friends at the State Chamber of Commerce, they've done an excellent job putting together an agenda for future growth. I would also submit that we have many military installations here. Tinker Air Force Base, Fort Sill, Vance, Altus, you name it. And that brings in people from all walks of life. I can tell you in Lawton, there are many people that I've met who served throughout the military and finished their careers, and they have been deployed all over the country, all over the world, but they decided to settle down in Lawton and in Oklahoma.
Right.
And so I think that speaks to how we bring people from all sorts of backgrounds, and especially Asian Americans who want to call this home. I think for the Asian Chamber, that's where this type of organization can come in and bring those people together. I think there's a lot of resources available. It's just a matter of getting people informed and aware of what they are, and then ultimately empowering them to step up and play a critical role in our community.
Hmm. And speaking about the chamber, I think it's one of the key reasons I decided to move here too. Is I
Mhm.
saw how rapidly and how eager this Asian community want to grow, and I just want to be part of that. And I think that's really cool.
Absolutely.
We have really good pho here.
Yeah. a lot of options
Key.
here, yeah. And we're
Yeah.
getting into that frost season right now with the weather.
Yes, that's one of the key reasons I stay as well as the pho. Okay,
uh,
and speaking about the chamber,
yeah.
I can talk all day about the chamber, but I'll let you do it. So
Hmm.
let's talk about Asian businesses in this area, and then the chamber, and
Hmm.
how are the chamber helping them? How can we help them in their benefits?
Well, I think it's important for anyone watching to recognize we're heading into year 4 of the Asian Chamber being in existence. And the fact that we have crossed the 300 member threshold, we've had a tremendous number of annual sponsors who've committed financially to this mission. And the fact that people are just excited and really enthusiastic about what this chamber brings. We had the gala here earlier this month. It was a beautiful venue. I think the whole team, especially Princess, did a fantastic job making it reality. I personally, I will tell you, I'd never planned a gala before, and so it was a great learning experience for me to go through this process. But that shows how we ought to be at the table
Yeah.
and not on the sidelines. And so we have a number of Asian-owned businesses and entrepreneurs, not just in the Asian district. Certainly, that is a high concentration, but from Edmond to Norman and everywhere in between, there's so many businesses and entrepreneurs who are trying to be successful. And with the Chamber of Commerce, that's where this organization can step in and offer those venues for collaboration, for networking, and for brainstorming about whatever the future may hold. And again, going back to mentorship, where just being in the room where it happens, to quote Alexander Hamilton,
Aaron Burr.
yeah, it just sparks so much of your creativity and imagination. And I do think we have a very strong board of directors. I know that I could not do this by myself, and the fact that we make a good team, and certainly you and your marketing role, that's a very critical position where we have to tell our story. At the end of the day, it is all about telling our members' stories and this community's story,
Yeah.
and making sure that the word gets out. And that's how we get more people to join, more opportunities to come through. And I think if we continue building those relationships, we're heading into year 4, who knows a decade from now where things will be. But that's why I'm really excited about. That's what drew me to join the Asian Chamber and to play this role just for a short amount of time.
From a business perspective, if I am a new business in this area, Asian owned business, so what I would do is get plugged in with Asian Chamber of Commerce. I will go to the events and I will network with people and, provide my services and advertise myself. And outside of that, like I will also receive information about, grants and marketing and
Mhm.
things that skills and things that, the state are providing to help my business. Would you say that's right from a business perspective?
I would say that's absolutely correct. And we try to accommodate people's schedules. So if you're a morning person, we have Coffee and Connect. If you like to
Yeah.
enjoy an adult beverage after work, we have business after hours, including one coming up in just a couple weeks to round out 2025.
Yeah.
And whether it's the gala or the business conference, you name it.
So fun events and business events.
Exactly.
Depends on your personality. Come to any of them.
You can work hard and play hard.
Right.
I truly believe in that. And so that's the approach we've taken. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how we continue to grow and challenge ourselves to have more these types of opportunities and partner with other organizations so that our potential can be maximized
That's right.
in 2026. So we'll see what the future holds.
Okay. Well, I do want to ask some questions about you
Mhm.
and
Of course.
into your experience. So as an Asian American leader here and, local civic leader, what's your advice to, to younger generations that will want to step into your shoes or want to do something outside of the tradition?
Um, I'd say go for it, and I'm certainly happy to help however I can, whether it's providing advice and counsel or just connecting folks with the right leaders. I will say that this is a generation where there's a lot of expectations placed on each of us to go above and beyond. And while that's important, I think it's equally, if not more important, to take care of one's well-being.
Mm-hmm.
And especially in the Asian American community, mental health is still a topic where there is much to be discussed.
And we usually don't talk about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think since COVID,
yeah.
We've all either known a family member, a friend, a neighbor who has struggled. And and I have friends who go see a therapist regularly. They find outlets to take it easy and so forth. I think that's really important that as young people we do emphasize that, yes, focus on your career, but at the same time take care of yourself, take care of your family, make sure you have those boundaries in place so that you're in a emotionally and mentally healthy spot. And certainly within our community, I know this is a topic that does not get addressed, as you said, often, but it's something that I've always been very open about. And from a policy perspective, there's a lot we can do as a state to make even more investments to help even more people. But for any young person, I would say finding that balance between advancing your career prospects, but also taking care of your well-being. And for me, my outlets are things like trying to go to the gym and work out. I like to run, especially here in Scissortail Park. I dabbled in comedy improv recently. So, a good mentor of mine told me a while ago that if you have patience and a sense of humor, you can do anything in life.
Yeah. I love your improv shows. I've been to a couple.
Yeah, thank you.
Super funny. And you do that OKC improv.
That's
right?
correct.
Okay. What are some of your favorite food spots? Talking about.
Well, if I known you asked that question, I would have. So I have a whole spreadsheet that I've created, and it's now come to the point where people who grew up in Oklahoma City are asking me for advice on where to go eat.
Right.
And I'm like, I feel like you guys should be the ones giving me all the tips. So this past week, I was actually in the Plaza District quite a bit. Went to Osteria, New State, and then the Mural. So I love the Plaza District, love Midtown, Paseo District as well. Edmonds got some really cool restaurants up and coming. So I mean, it's very hard to pick a few different places. Well, I will say, and this was recognized as one of the top 50 best restaurants in the entire country. But Bar Sen and Maduro, either one of those places, you can frankly go to both, I suppose, in one evening.
For sure.
But I think Chef Jeff and his team have done an excellent job with what those two have offered to the table. So, in fact, with this weather right now, it might not be might be a good idea to go to Bar Sen, perhaps.
Yeah.
And get a bowl of noodles.
For sure.
And like I said, there's a lot of great pho places as well.
100%. And if you don't know where to get Asian food, just go to the Asian District.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like there's so many good restaurants. You won't go wrong in the Asian District. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I do want to invite you back for future episodes.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Because
talk about food or just like...
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Food, yeah.
We have a whole hour dedicated to food, yeah.
Yeah. Legislation. I don't know if you know any of this. I do have a question about legislation.
Sure.
I think it's important. From your perspective, do you know if there's any laws that are helping minorities in Oklahoma?
So with the Oklahoma Department of Commerce, we have specifically incentivized minority-owned entrepreneurs and businesses to apply for grants. So that is tied directly through that particular department. And federally, there are other financial funding opportunities as well, which that's as a chamber, we try to get the word out. I know recently we had a marketing-related grant from the Department of Commerce. So that's something that this legislature, this government, is keenly aware of. And that's how we stay competitive across the country and across the world by making those targeted investments.
Definitely. I feel like Oklahoma should invest in their minority community and their businesses.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have the cultural chambers here in Oklahoma City Metro.
Mhm.
And I know this has always been an idea to try to have as many collaborative events as possible, which we had a few in 2025. And hopefully that continues on into 2026. And we build that momentum even more.
Okay. All right. Well, so we're closing up our podcast for today, but we'll definitely need you to come back in the future, near future. So
I'll have my
other than-
restaurant recommendations handy. Yeah,
Okay.
at that point. Don't worry.
We'll bring our favorite dish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can eat and talk. Yeah.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
It'll be like a whole mukbang episode.
I love it.
Are there any closing remarks that you have?
It's hard to believe that, I was talking to many friends recently about this whole year has like flown by.
Right.
And I have grown tremendously as a leader, and it's been a privilege to be the executive director and have stepped into this role, just to play a small part when it comes to this organization's growth. And I would not have been able to do a lot of these events and programs without people like you. I know John is working away at the computer as we speak.
Yeah, that's right.
Shout out to
John.
him. Yeah. And the rest of the board. This really is a team effort, and that is my leadership approach, whether it is here in government, even back in high school student council. I don't really care about titles or awards or frankly power. I think we're on this earth for a finite amount of time, and we're in these positions for a finite amount of time. So I just try to do my best, and I try to lead things better than they were before I came. That's my whole approach to this position. And I know that I'm not perfect by any means, and I make mistakes. I screw up, but I always try to learn from them and try to grow every single day. So thanks for the opportunity to share some wisdom and some recommendations on food and whatnot. And yeah, look forward to the next time we can have a conversation here. But thanks for what you do, Aaron, as well as marketing chair.
Thank you. One of the best perspectives I've ever heard. Where you were saying we have finite amount of time here, titles and positions only last so long. So couldn't have said it better. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in for the Asian Chamber chats, and we'll definitely dive more into Daniel in future episodes. So stay tuned, and thank you for tuning in.